Hey guys, First Regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about a Pyreblaster tactical build for Space Marine 2 patch 12.0 using the brand new Hero Combat Knife, Argent Edge. Now, Argent Edge might be the best fencing weapon in the game currently, mainly because of the heroic perk effect here called Scathing Retort. Their post window is shorter, but each riposte deals damage. What this does is it gives you damage on every parry with like a parry window that feels equivalent to a block parry window, but on top of that, every single parry you perform with this weapon will stagger an enemy and grant an opportunity for a gun strike. That is an incredibly powerful tool in this game, mainly because enemies like melee Terminators, Raveners, Lictors, they have many combos that will permanently lock you down in a boss fight and stuff like that, and being able to perfect parry them and stun them automatically, that is just such a useful option to keep you alive that I really do think it's like one of the best weapons in all of Space Marine 2 currently. Now, for the primary I take on this, I do take the Pyreblaster, mainly because the Pyreblaster is a god tier boss melting tool. The Pyreblaster, since patch 10, has been a top tier weapon. It is no different in patch 12.0, and the version we're using today is the Venting Speed version because this class really does not suffer from ammo economy. Now for the perk tree on this, I do take the perk here, Improved Fast Venting first, moving here into the perk Eternal Flame. Burning time increases by 25%. Burn damage is pretty much all that matters on the Pyreblaster because burn damage will scale up with difficulty, so the more burn, the better. Next perk here is Potent Flame for even more burn damage. Into the perk here, Flame of Ascension. Burning 5 enemies restores 1 armor segment. The cooldown is 30 seconds. This is an incredible source of armor restore in Space Marine 2, mainly because getting this back on burning enemies is super easy to pull off. It is not hard at all in this game to just like put your Pyreblaster in an enemy's face, burn 5 Minoris in front of you, and just trigger this off cooldown every time. Next perk here is Potent Flame, going down here into the perk Flash Burn, and then we go into the perk here Increased Capacity, and the final perk Flame of Purification. Burning enemies take 20% more melee damage. This will actually apply a debuff to the enemy that affects your entire team, so really good for assault synergy and stuff like that. And assault and tactical already a god tier combo, but this just makes it even better. Now, the final weapon here is the secondary plasma pistol. Rate of fire plasma is amazing on this build as well, mainly because it has great CHP recovery, great stagger, and great damage, and CHP recovery is like the only thing the Pyreblaster in this game lacks. So having that in your secondary is a really great option. And for the perk tree, I do build all ammo economy perks because you are pretty ammo hungry on this thing, even on tacticals. Now the final weapon we'll talk about here is our perk tree for Argent Edge. Now this combat knife has an 18 strength, 3+ speed, and 1 cleaving potential with a defense type fencing. Now the 18 strength here is pretty nice, but for the most part, I do use this for like Minoris killing and Majoris killing, so I don't really build into things like Shadow Stab as much for boss slaying or Terminus Slayer. So I just go down the bottom tree first with Perpetual Strength into the perk Kinetic Energy, then I pick up Perpetual Strength and Perpetual Strength again for a 10% melee damage increase, then I grab the perk here Heavy Onslaught for 15% more melee damage, and then I grab the perk here Reeling Blow, Up in the Tide of Battle, and Shoulder Bash. Now, Shoulder Bash just replaces your lunging attack. I think the Shoulder Bash is much better than the base one. If you don't want this, you want to like skip over this for the Shadow Stab perk instead, you can definitely do that. That is up to you, but I'm just taking this one today. Final perk here is Extremis Slayer for a 15% bonus damage against Extremis, and that's pretty much all there is for the perk tree. Now for the perk tree here, I do take the perk Plasma Boost first. When plasma weapons are 30% overheated, their damage increases by 40%, and their charge shots use 1 less energy. This perk is an incredible value perk for not only damage, but also ammo efficiency, and I pretty much always pick this up when I'm taking a plasma pistol in the Pyreblaster, because the Pyreblaster really does not benefit from perks like Balance Distribution or Crack and Penetrate rounds at all, so taking this, kind of a no-brainer for a secondary. Next perk here is Versatility. After switching weapons, your secondary weapon does 25% more damage, and the effect lasts until reloading or switching back to your primary weapon. Now, on the Plasma Pistol, you don't have to reload at all, so you are just getting the full damage buff the entire time on top of Plasma Boost. This will basically send your damage on your secondary into orbit, though I will say if you want to take Relentless Pursuit instead for like a flat 25% range damage increase on a gun strike for 10 seconds, this is also pretty good because Argent Edge does give you a gun strike every single parry opportunity, but if you don't want to take that, you can take this too. Next perk here is Emperor's Vengeance. Killing a Majoris level or higher enemy restores your Pyro's ammo by 1 magazine. Cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. The cooldown is 30 seconds. This perk just solves your ammo economy. Pretty much always take this on a Pyreblaster. You will run out of ammo without this thing, so I would say on this build especially, this one is pretty much mandatory. Next perk here is Secure Stockpile. Equip a charge sword by 1 for all team members. Cooldown is 60 seconds. This is still the best team perk in the entire game. A 60-second melt-a-bomb, crack grenade, shock grenade, frag. These will just solve entire runs for you, especially in the operations and hard strats where like the boss spawns only put out like a few extremis on you. Really powerful perk. Pretty much always grab it on like an ultimate meta build. Next perk here is Vital Data. Scanning extremis or terminus level enemies towards your Auspex can charge by 50%. This just gives you more Auspexes versus enemies you want them against the most, which are, of course, Extremis and Terminus. A very high value perk, though I will say if you want to take priority targeting, you definitely can. And the perk down here, Target Lock, is not awful, but these two are definitely better. Next perk here is Precise Calibration. Enemies marked by Auspex scan take an additional 75% damage, but the Auspex scan's radius is reduced by 25%. Now, on a Pyreblaster build, your burn damage will go up with an Auspex scan, so if you light an enemy on fire, and you put down a Precise Calibration and Concentrate Fire Auspex, you will just absolutely cook the boss. It's one of the best boss killing combos in the entire game, and that's on your own. If you bring teammates on top of that, the bosses just evaporate, so definitely pick this combo up here, and the most important perk I would say is this one. Concentrated Fire, Auspex scan zone lasts 60% longer, and enemies marked by Auspex scan take an additional 120% damage, but they lose a mark when they leave the scanned area. This is just such a high value perk on the Auspex scan that when you put these two together, they're already pretty good, but even on its own, it is a very powerful option. Mainly because losing the mark when they leave the scanned area, that's not a huge downside at all, because most of the enemies that you want to kill in this game, like bosses, they're gigantic and fat. You'll be able to just shoot down Auspex on the floor, and they'll almost always run into it, and half the time a Carnifex will like ram into a wall, a Hellbrute will slam its hammer, or a Neurothrop will shout. It'll be really easy to put one on them for that. So really great perk combo. I pretty much always pick this up. I will say if you really want to take battle focus for like Auspex on parry, this is also a good option. I just prefer this one. Final perk here is Radiating Impact. A melee finisher additionally deals significant AoE damage in a 10 meter radius. Cooldown is 90 seconds. I talk about this perk all the time because this perk simply overperforms. It will absolutely save your life in operations and hard strats. There are many times in this game where a boss will just jump you with like an entire Majora's pack, and getting one execute means wiping out that pack entirely pretty much. Really god tier perk. Pretty much always grab this. Now for my prestige perk selection, I still take Acuity first. For whatever reason, this will trigger on the Pyreblaster, so it is nice to have. Next perk here, Skill Supplier and Reserve increases by 15%. Pretty self-explanatory here too. And the final two perks I take are Resilience for 40% more HP on stims, and Fortitude for a health increase of 15%. Because this is like the only survivability perk on Tactical anyway, so definitely grab this. And having better stim economy here does help you out a lot. Definitely more than you would actually think. Really underrated perk here, if I'm being honest. And that's pretty much all there is for the Pyreblaster build, guys. This is still probably the strongest build, or one of the strongest builds for Tactical in the entire game. Pyreblaster is an S tier weapon. It is just that damn good on both Chaos and Tyranids. It is just an overperforming weapon that's kind of... And it is really hard to go wrong with this thing because it just overperforms all the time. And hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.
Our objective is to secure the cyclonic warheads at all costs, encountering heavy Tyranid resistance. Imperator, may the Emperor grant you the blessing of his glorious to cross such a worthy vessel.
Wow, okay, well that was one of the Auspexes of all time. At least the first one was better. And by better, I mean it did more than literally nothing. I was playing Paige a little bit. Chill dude. Yeah, he is definitely chill. I will be playing with him a lot more next month, actually. We have good yaps. IMO. So if everybody curious about all the damage we did there, so basically, when you parry in this game, you get a 50% bonus. Debuff applied, damage taken applied to the enemy. Which also increases your Pyreblaster damage, on top of your Auspex damage, which means you do 5 million damage. That's the exact number, actually. The burn damage of the Pyreblaster is buffed by your Auspex. That's why Auspex is the best ability in the whole game. I didn't been using my secure stockpile here. Is Omnisciax good for solo runs? I think it's pretty good. I mean, you're... okay. I just need to get the fuck out of here, dude, before I get range spin to death. I can't interact with the button here. Very obnoxious. Oh, you just die for me? Thank you, thank you. When do I have? Oh, I know. I didn't mean to take Shadow Stab on that, but that's okay. They both work.
Prime variant Tyranid warriors. Pyreblast radius. Those cannons are the Imperial's wrath made manifest.
Oh, I have one shot. I have just enough to do this. Perfect. Wait, why am I a Blood Angel? That's funny. Whatever. I didn't even notice until now. It's kind of funny how much better the Pyreblaster is than the Pyre Cannon in terms of like range and blast synergy. Hey, we were just not blessed with ammo today. I mean, for our primary, yes. For a secondary, no.
Combat Squad Heraton reporting in. The bridge is lost, as are my squad brothers. I am cut off from our planned route to the Ordnance Depot. Calculating a new route based on your report, Heraton. Standing by. Be advised. The cruiser's crew managed to execute security protocols before they were overrun by the Xenos brood. Stay close and sharp.
I bought the game before I built my PC, and the DLC is not transferred, so I guess I'm sticking to PS5 Pro. I've had that happen for some games I've played. It's a shitty feeling, but most games don't transfer DLC, unfortunately. The way I put these hidden mechanics in the game store besides the files, just knowing how the game works made it 10 times better. Definitely is way better for the game. Forgot. Oh, we're just walking down? Okay.
That Combat Squad Phaedrus is lost. I need a mission status update from all remaining Combat Squads.
Whatever. I tried to shoot him around the box. Didn't work.
Newly advised path. Combat Squad Octavio reporting in. Cyclonic armament secured for now. Talasa, you are nearing the reactor cooling hall. Report on its condition when you arrive. The scale of the Xenos infestation is worse than we thought. All squads, we have updated our battle stratagems. Heraton, reinforce Octavio and protect the cyclonic armaments. Talasa, your new orders are to destabilize the reactor, cause a temperature spike, and and the Tyranids may redirect their assault to you, buying Heraton and Octavio some time to prime the armaments. When you reach the reactor's cooling console, disable the emergency blast shields.
It's actually a really easy part for us because the plasma shots will one-shot all these regenerator portions.
Talasa, I need you to disable the entire cooling array. Concentrate fire on the exposed cooling rods. Look for weak spots and focus fire.
And the Pyreblaster spreads them. Yeah, right, okay.
All specs ready to scan. Another Xenos Bioform eliminated. We broke the Xenos monster. Elements of the cooling rod array are clogged. Living biomass blocking our target. We have breached the containment walls. Registering extreme.
Okay, this is not my day for Auspexes, okay? Alright, plan B, plan B.
Excellent, Talasa. You will need to repeat the same process at the second array. Access granted at the bridge console. The Sullen broke psychic power was falling aside. Exterminate their numbers, sir. But their efforts shall come to fall. The enemy, please.
There we go.
Make haste. We must take the second array offline.
No, 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 no! Oh, we barely got out of that. Why are there so many snipers this patch? All this shit.
All specs rocket scanner available. One more minus play.
7 hours? Are you even human? No. I am Astartes. Also, 7 hours is not that long. We went for 22 hours the other day. So you haven't lived until you've done something for 72 hours straight, okay? Now the only thing that sort of made me do that is double XP weekend over escape.
Tyranny menace annihilated. Fresh munitions. Disgusting tyranny. Identify blockages and remove Xenos
Alright, we're level
organisms.
2. And over here. Oh, we just reached. Barely. Yes.
Identify blockages and remove Xenos organisms. critical level. Plasma reactors shutting down to prevent catastrophic detonation. Talassa, do not let the reactors cool down. This cruiser will soon perform its final task. Proceed to the decks below and force the plasma reactors to overheat. Let us descend to the reactor chamber.
I'm saying it. Argent Edge just S tier. It just is.
Talassa, have you received word from our brother in Combat Squad Heraton? His approach vector should have taken him through the technical underbelly. An Ultramarine has been through this sector. Nothing from Heraton. Understood. Be advised, we remain under heavy Tyranid assault. With the overheating reactor, the Tyranids will refocus their efforts. This is ill-advised, Talassa. If you do not rig the reactor to detonate, the cyclonic warheads will be wasted. Combat Squad Octavio will redouble our efforts to draw the Tyranids away from your position instead. Acknowledged, Octavio. And remain with you.
God. They definitely up the spawns this patch. Though, to be fair, this is how Absolute should have always been. It's still way less than Siege mode.
Mindless filth lies shut.
Talassa, we have lost contact with Heraton leader, and Octavio is pinned down. You must destabilize the plasma reactor. Our brothers from Phaedrus and Heraton shall not have died in vain.
You haven't played Siege in forever. I'll be playing it a lot more when we approach the new update for it. Not much has changed in Siege at all since launch. Since they launched it.
Disgusting tyranny scum.
Which is better on Tech Marine for pure damage output, Balance Axe, or Xenophobic Blade? They're both really good. I think the Balance Axe probably is a little bit better because it's like a one-shot combo.
Authorized personnel only beyond this point. Provides
Well, it's just the fucking Power Axe, so it usually does have more damage, has better damage perks.
Security protocols dictate that only claimed principal servitors have entry authorization. Anyone find the claimed principal?
Fortify your psyche! The god seeks to rally reserves! Hold it! There is no loyalty among these fighters!
Unless some remains missed.
One more mindless beast slain! destruction has persisted for too long.
Assault was king on release, and then they lost it in the fray, but for sure back. It was my first class level 25. I mean, it was the worst class at launch, but now it's one of the best. I really like the new heroic knife since it perk does decent damage. The best part about it is that it staggers on hit every single parry now. So it doesn't matter where they are on the attack chain. It's really nuts. Alright, that was just so good. Where's this guy going? Alright, well, you're about to get Auspex and perish.
Without their living artillery, Xenos stand no chance. An elusive beast. No more surprises from this.
The last body part. Where's he at? I tried the soccer bolt rifle, new tactical perk buffs. Could do that next.
Did we scan every eyeball?
Oh, the sniper's so good. It's only class over max. They're all better than they were at launch, so yes. So this way, if there was a class you liked at launch, they're better now. So, whatever your prior main was. The game is so much different than it was in the old patches.
Ocular biometrics confirmed. Maintenance grade Delta Mu 2839. Access granted. Objective ahead. Advance.
Another Xenos bioform eliminated.
More spec suggests major
Maybe there's
movements
Relux down here.
ahead.
Maybe. No, it's just a ugly servitor. Okay. Oh no, my Nora Storm will I ever do?
Setting thermal charge. Disgusting tyranny.
Why are there so many snipers? See this guy? Would you say are the best classes for Siege? It's just undeniably Bulwark, Assault, and Tac. They simply are the best now. Heavy's kind of fallen off a bit ever since Assault got major buffs. And like now it's actually better than ever. So there's also that.
That reactor must be destroyed. Honor our brothers. Honor our chapter. It is coming right at us.
Another Xenos bioform eliminated.
All you have to do is just spin around this thing here. It's pretty funny. Get out of my way.
It is coming right at us.
Oh, we fucked up.
All space multi-scanner available. Ammunition cache here.
It moves to attack. One down, one to go. And it is
Let's come to the aspects.
That prime will fight harder now that it is alone.
He dies. He gets fucking purged.
They struck down our brothers, but second
Not even
company
worthy of being
prevailed.
executed.
Now, engage the console to cripple the reactor. And Talassa, when those magnetic stabilizers stop, prepare for rapid egress. Be advised, the gyroscopic containment shielding prevents catastrophic plasma dispersion. Plasma cores are now exposed. Caution advised. Reactor critical, Talassa. Disengage. Do not stumble. Talassa, we're tracking your signatures. Octavio and Heraton Leader are already on board. Our brothers prevailed. Follow the designated evacuation routes immediately. Talassa inbound, Thunderhawk. Hurry. The cruiser has begun breaking apart. We will wait as long as we can. Get us away. Race for turbulence.